So we need to talk about a major problem that is happening right now in the United States. Due to the fact that rents are rising faster than wages in most major US cities, we are also seeing that millions of Americans are forced to live with one another. This is causing depression, anxiety, and even worse. So I'm going to break down what's going on right now, where we are seeing this the worst, and what we should expect moving forward. So make sure you watch this entire video and I'll explain exactly what is going on. But all I ask is one thing, takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So yes, rents are rising faster than wages in most US cities. This is something that we've known for the past couple of years, but now it's starting to spiral out of control. Look at this. So this article from May 16th, which is about 2 weeks ago, says rent has risen faster than wages in most US cities. But it's the key information in this article that I want to share with you. Okay? Look at this right here. It says rent surged 30.4% nationwide between 2019 and 2023, while wages rose 20.2% over the same period. This is according to StreetEasy and also Zillow. It says, since 2019, rents have outpaced wages in 44 of the 50 largest U.S. metro areas, with renters in some cities faring much worse than others. Actually, I have a friend, he lives in San Francisco. He's having a very difficult time. And he has been having a very difficult time for the past 3 years. However, he can't move out of the city, or especially move too far away, because his office expects him to be there 6 days a week. So unless he wants to quit his job and go somewhere else, which his job pays him very well, he can't do it. And this is what many businesses have actually resorted to over the past year or so, is they are almost forcing you to stay in a place that you technically can't afford, simply because they want you at their office. Now, I want to read you the rest of this. It says the difference is especially stark in Florida, which became a migration hotspot in recent years. Now, here's the problem. What we have seen lately is record immigration is behind a third of rent rises. What I have found over the past handful of months is that in places like New York, in places like Illinois, pretty much around the Chicago area, in places in Colorado, again, mainly around Denver, in a lot of places in California, and this is spread out over the entire state, even here in Washington State, we are seeing rents rise at a very unexpected pace. And many real estate experts believe it is because of all the immigrants coming into the U.S. And they are doing something that it's not, technically out of the ordinary, but it's not something that we've seen in some time. And that is right now that 44% of Americans are forced into financial cohabitation. They are now being forced to live with one another. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be a complete stranger. And I've seen this so many times just in the past week on Facebook. People are asking and almost begging for a roommate because they can't afford the rent on their own. Look at this. It says survey respondents, okay? And now, this was originally posted back in 2021, okay? But it says survey respondents living together to primarily afford rent report mental stress, depression, and physical and emotional abuse. Here's the thing. This article has been updated multiple times over the past handful of months. This is what we're facing today. Again, this was originally posted, this article right here was originally posted back in December 14th, 2021. But it's the exact same thing that millions of Americans are facing today. Because what did we face in 2021? outside of the pandemic and we were seeing, businesses shut down and stuff like that, what we faced was many people were out of jobs. They're working from home, but their business was laying people off. We were seeing record high real estate prices, which we are seeing today. Nothing has really changed. The only difference is we have a couple years of a history to go with it. That's really it. But here's what you need to see. Okay, look at this. It says wages are rising fastest in the West and the South. Look at this. This is year over year changes in wages. In the Northeast, they've gone up about 3.3%, 3.2%. In the South, we've gone up about 3.7%. In the Midwest, we've gone up about 3.3%. In the West, we've gone up about 4.1%. Those are the year over year change in wages. However, many of those places, the rents are outpacing the wage growth. That's a concern. Now, I want to read a little bit more from the article that was done a couple weeks ago. Okay, that's this one right here. And what I want to show you is this. Okay, look at this right here. It says, where is rent going up the most? So you can see it right here. Since 2019, rents have outpaced wages in 44 of the 50 largest U.S. metro areas. Okay, with renters in some cities faring much worse than others. Now, so you can see the 6 different states. Minneapolis, wages grew faster than rent by 3.6%. In Milwaukee, wages grew faster by 0.5%. Not much, but a little bit. You can see over here in Houston, wages grew by 3.8%. That was in Houston, Texas. Over here in San Jose, they grew by 6.5%. Here in San Francisco, wages grew faster by 8.6%, which the interesting part about San Francisco is if you are not in the technology sector, then you are likely being hit. And then up here in Oregon, in Portland, wages grew by 3 percentage points. But you can see the big dots, like this one in Phoenix, Arizona. Rent grew faster than wages by 22.5%. Down here in Miami, 32.2%. Over here in San Diego, 17.8%. Over here in Buffalo, New York, or down here in New York City, 16.2%. Wages grew faster. Remember what I just said. Wages and people are cohabitating. But it's happening in New York City. Okay, it's happening in Florida. We aren't seeing this over here in Salt Lake City. We got Denver over here. But again, this is kind of what we're seeing here in the Seattle, Washington area, 12 percentage points. That's how much rent grew faster than wages. Now, here's one thing I just want to leave you with. It doesn't matter where you live in the United States. If you are facing more people losing jobs in your area, you're seeing inflation is still picking up. Rents continue to rise because more people have to move in together, which means they have more money. Guess what? Rents are going to go up because now there's more demand. As more immigrants come into the U.S., again, more demand. So as we start to face these issues over the next 6 to 12 months, just understand, life is likely going to be harder. I bring this up because I read a comment just this morning saying that a person was looking for somebody to pretty much co-rent, co-sponsor, co-finance a car. They have a car, they have payments on the car, but what they don't have is the money needed to keep that car. So they're looking for somebody to come in and split it. You'll drive it 50%, the other person will drive it the other 50%. But I've seen that with RVs, seen that with side-by-sides and different toys. I've seen that with some homes as well. And I actually have a very good friend that he is renting half of the home and the landlord or owner, the other tenant, is paying for the other half. What's interesting about it is, again, they're splitting it 50-50. All the costs, splitting 50-50. But they're friends. That's it. They're not married. Okay? Neither one has kids. Right? They're just friends, but they're sharing a home together because that's the only way they could afford it. But that's currently where we're at. So again, keep in mind, as things get worse, we are likely to see more and more people forced into cohabitation simply because that's the only option they have. So we'll see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you is, again, I will be here every step of the way and I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.